In this particular video, we're going to talk about algebraic expressions. In previous videos, we learned about numerical expressions and how to evaluate those. So for this particular situation, in an algebraic expression, we have a variable. And so a variable represents a missing value in the expression. It can be represented by a lowercase letter. We tend to use X and Y and A's, B's, and C's and things of that nature for different values within an expression. So for evaluating an algebraic expression, this is where we kind of synonymous with the word substitute. This is where we're going to take the given value for a variable and we're going to plug it in or substitute it in for the variable in the algebraic expression. So we can find the value of the whole expression at a certain number. So we're going to just simply take a look at an example and work a couple sample problems. This should be still a review from pre-algebra and algebra 1. So let's take a look at what evaluating an algebraic expression would look like. So here we see we have example number 3. And it says evaluate the expression when x is equal to -2. And so this is extremely important that we give you a value for the variable. And we're going to take that value for the variable and plug it in every single place there is an x value. And so we don't just do it in one place, we do it every single place there's an x value. Now, in this particular situation, the value is a negative number. And so this is extremely important that we use parentheses with our negative number, especially in this problem where that variable is being raised to a power. And so when we use the parentheses appropriately, that gives us a specific type of answer that we learned about in previous videos. So you can use example number 3 as a little bit of a guide. Now, once again, when you plug in the value for the variable, now you're dealing with a numerical expression. And so at this point, you do not have to do it step by step if you are getting comfortable plugging all of this into your calculator. You can feel free to go ahead and do that all in one step, and this will make you a little bit more efficient and save you some time. So let's go ahead and move on down to sample problem number 2. We have part A and we have part B. So go ahead and pause the video at this point and work both of these problems and come back for the demonstration. Okay, so now simply going to work through each of these problems. And so the first thing I need to do, if we followed the previous flowchart on the previous page of the notes, it says to write the algebraic expression, which we already have it written for us, and then we want to substitute the value of the variables. So here we need to make all of the x values equal to 3. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'm going to use a different color so that you can see the actual substitution taking place. And so you can see there that we have exchanged the x value for 3 in every place that there was an x value. Now, at this point, you could conveniently work in everything into your calculator. I'm going to go ahead and just quickly go through the order of operations steps so that you can see each one of them step by step. So I'm going to take care of my exponents first. Now, this is a good opportunity to discuss parentheses. There are 2 sets of parentheses actually in this problem, which is the first part of our order of operations. However, there are no actual operations taking place inside the parentheses, so we would just move on to our next step, which would be dealing with exponents. And so now we have 2 times 9, and I can go ahead and start to I'll just go ahead and write everything out. And so we can do the 2 multiplications simultaneously. Even though we're doing left to right, we can go ahead and do this as we go across. And then the subtraction from left to right, which is going to leave us simply with a -3. Now hopefully you were able to do that all with your calculator. Alright, let's try one more. Part B has us evaluate an expression when x is equal to 2. So I'm going to go ahead and plug 2 in for each value of x. I didn't color code this time, but you should see where the 2 has replaced the x. And again, we have the same situation with parentheses. There's no operations embedded in the parentheses, so we'll go ahead and move on to exponents. And then we will go ahead and take care of multiplication, and then finally the addition and subtraction. And we also come up with a value of -3. So that is just a quick short video showing you the basic difference between evaluating algebraic expressions compared to evaluating numerical expressions in a previous video. If you have any questions, be sure to ask your teacher.